What's up, guys? It's Cobra. The 2024 college football season is almost over, but the college football 25 content is just getting started. If you're just joining us, subscribe to the channel. We're building a great community here, and we'd love for you to join us. Rebuilding dynasties is the main focus of my content on the channel. We took the Pittsburgh Panthers and turned them into an ACC powerhouse with Pittsburgh Panthers legend Kenny Pickett. We're currently rebuilding the North Carolina Tar Heels with the legendary Bill Belichick. But I'm starting something different today. Several years ago, I made the decision to enroll in a small university to continue my education. The school is located in Boca Raton, Florida, only 1 mile from the beach. If you aren't familiar, it's Florida Atlantic University. At the time, the school had a young football program that was basically a bottom feeder of the Conference USA. The school tried to bring some life to the team and brought in Lane Kiffin, who at the time was the offensive coordinator for Alabama. Brought a few good seasons to FAU before he left to become the head coach at Ole Miss. And since then, the school's fallen into troubled waters with several horrible choices at head coach and a lot of bad losing seasons. FAU transitioned to the American in 2023, and in 2024, they brought in one of the brightest offensive-minded coaches in the country, in Zach Kittley. Kittley is the former offensive coordinator for Texas Tech, which had the 8th-ranked offense in the country in 2024. He runs an air raid offense, which makes FAU the only air raid program in the state of Florida, which could be very attractive to recruits going forward. But like many transitions to a new head coach, many of the players on the original roster decided to transfer or had graduated already. This left the program severely depleted in talent, which is basically an ideal starting point for any dynasty rebuild. But this is where things get even more interesting. I decided to gut the roster even more to make it even harder on myself, and the team doesn't have any of its real transfers that have happened in real life, so we've got our work cut out for us with this rebuild. Let's meet the team, or what's left of it. In the quarterback room, Cam Fancher, the starter in 2024. He's gone. His backup, Tyreek Starks, gone as well. Our starter for the 2025 season is transfer quarterback Philip Rush. He's a redshirt junior from the University of Wyoming. I don't know how good he is, but he should be serviceable for us. Returning behind him is redshirt freshman Kason Wiseman. He's not the greatest, but he will do. And behind him is true freshman Jordan Magwood. I see him potentially being the next starter for FAU. Also returning is redshirt sophomore Carson Krueger, but I doubt he'll touch the field much. At running back, the Owls lost a lot of talent to the transfer portal. Stars CJ Campbell Jr. and Zabiri Mobley, as well as freshman Caden Shields Dutton, said goodbye to Boca Raton. Redshirt sophomores Xavier Terrell and Jamari Sands will both likely be splitting carries this season. True freshman Ethan Irvin could see some playing time. And Tremonte Underwood Jr., who's returning this year, is slowly falling in our depth chart. A few of the wide receivers decided to hit the transfer portal this offseason, including sophomore Amari Hayes and juniors Jayshon Platt and Joseph Young. Seniors Milan Tucker, George Johnson III, Marlon Johnson, E.J. Horton, and B.J. Alexander are all graduated. Some of the guys I'd like to highlight on the new roster include senior Caleb Coombs, Dominique Henry, and transfer A.J. Jones, who's coming in from Arizona. The rest of these guys, we'll have to just wait and find out. At tight end, sophomores Wyatt Sullivan and Zeke Moore have transferred, and senior Nicholas Marino graduated in the offseason. Elijah Brown and Khalil Brantley are returning this year. We have hybrid offensive tackle Jakavian Nonar, who is likely going to be a blocker for us, and true freshman Temez Young. He'll see some playing time this season for sure. At left tackle, senior Malcolm Lamar Sr. has graduated. Redshirt senior Alex Atkavaj is our new starter, followed by Christason St. Jean and true freshman Nicholas Turner for depth. At left guard, sophomore Jordan Church has transferred out. Taking over at left guard is redshirt senior Woody Jean, and he's backed up by true freshman Landon Rapkiewicz. At center, senior Federico Maranges has graduated. Redshirt sophomore Ovi Dubre takes over as the starter, and redshirt junior Darnell Wolf will return as the backup. At right guard, senior Andre Lamas has graduated. Taking over at right guard is redshirt freshman Mauricio Hines, and he's backed up by redshirt freshman Ethan Profit. Right tackle is the only position that's not seeing any changes this season. Daughtry Richardson returns as the starter. He's followed up by Braden Ramey, Keon Rohe, and Brandon Cunningham. On the defensive side of the ball, the Owls lost a significant amount of talent. At defensive end, seniors Chris Jones, Kemar Richardson, Chisholm Afinye, and Marlon Bradford have all graduated. And freshman Eric Brantley Jr. transferred out as well. Redshirt sophomore Wilkie Denard, who played for the same high school that I attended, and sophomore Gavench Marcelin are starting out at defensive end this season. Behind them, freshman Cameron Gooden, CJ Doggett, who transferred in from Ohio, and Namari Brantley, as well as Christian Parison, are all backups this year. At defensive tackle, seniors Jaden Wheeler, Prince Boyd, and Devonta Davis have all graduated. Junior Jacob Merrifield also transferred out. So that means only one starter remains on the defensive tackle position, and that's senior Bryce Langston. At linebacker, seniors Jackson Ambush, Jarrett Gerals, Eddie Williams, and Desmond Tisdale have all graduated. Only 3 linebackers remain on the roster from last season. Redshirt junior Zaire Horton, redshirt freshman Sharkez Lee, and redshirt freshman Jarvis Johnson. The rest of the linebackers are all true freshmen, and we have no idea how good or bad they'll be. At cornerback, seniors Dede Hill, Kazir Brown, and Michael Antoine Jr. have all graduated. Redshirt senior Logic Hudgens and redshirt sophomore Chris Tooley III are the starters this year, and they're followed in depth by Cameron Goggins, Lawrence Johnson, and true freshman Zion Pere. At free safety, junior Philip Dunham and freshman CJ Hurd have transferred out. Redshirt freshman Kyle Boylston is now the starter, and he's followed up in depth by junior Fabian Scott, redshirt freshman Mike Wright III, and redshirt freshman Jaheim Miller. At strong safety, senior Wendell Fallord has graduated. Redshirt senior Jaden Williams takes over as the nickelback. Redshirt sophomore Antonio Smith is now the starter at safety, and he's followed in depth by redshirt freshman Curtis Janvier, true freshman Damon Allen, and true freshman Quentin Durbin. And on special teams, redshirt senior Morgan Suarez returns as the kicker, and redshirt senior Logan Lupo returns as our punter. As you can see, we are going to have our work cut out for us this season. Taking a look at our recruiting board, we've got some gem players that we've already found, including right tackle Hugh Lincoln. We got a commitment out of athlete quarterback Jeremy Pape. Got some other young guys like gem center Anthony Stubbs, and some other guys down here that have already looking like they're going to be some stars in the making. Another true commitment from wide receiver Cam Swan. And we have some other gem players hidden down here that we're hopefully going to get some commitments out of, because we have our work cut out for us in rebuilding this program. The 2025 season is going to be a rebuilding year for the Owls. Expectations are low, but their pieces are in place to grow for the future.
They put a lot of highlights together, put a great offensive game together, complete football game. They get the win on to next week.
A disappointing start to this season as they open 0-1.
Tough way to start, but you see it so many times throughout a season. People start slow, figure out who they are, get better as the season goes on, and your dream's still very much ahead.
And the sky's not falling right now. You're just 0-1. There's no need to panic.
We opened the season with a road game against Maryland, and the Owls were simply outmatched in this game, getting shut out 34-0. There really wasn't much to talk about.
So productive, built the lead. Listen, their defense has pulled their weight as well, but now, Jesse, you get to exhale, you get to breathe, and you know we got the W, and we played well.
And we got to think about where we're taking our girlfriend and parents for dinner, right? What side are we ordering with our giant steak? We've earned it in this game. Now it's time to go celebrate.
Week 3 was a road game against our rivals, the FIU Panthers. We got the best of them in this matchup, winning 24-7, and the defense came up huge for us. Defensive end Gavench Marcelin earned American Defensive Player of the Week and National Defensive Player of the Week honors with his 3-sack and 4 tackle for loss performance.
Defense probably loved this game, guys. Fans of offense, not so much, but fans of winning? Oh, everybody's a fan of winning, and they found a way to get it done.
A win is a win is a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you get it done. This was not pretty by any stretch. Phenomenal defense, offense, they've got a lot of work to do coming up. But at the end of the
Week
day,
4 was our home opener against the Yukon Huskies. Our defense came up big again, and we ended up upsetting them 10-3. Linebacker Robert Lee earned American Defensive Player of the Week honors with his 5-tackle and 1 interception performance.
Stumble earlier this year, a lot of people wrote this team off. People might be searching for spots on the bandwagon again now.
yeah, give this coaching staff a lot of credit too, Reese, because they made a few tweaks and adjustments schematically to their personnel as well, and they've really now seemed to find
Week 5 was a tune-up game against the FCS East, and we came away with the win 21-14. This game, however, was much closer than it should have been, in my opinion. Defensive end Wilkie Denard earned American Defensive Player of the Week honors with his 1 sack and 3 tackle for loss performance.
By double figures.
not a lot of drama, but there is a lot to fix on offense, on defense, on special teams. This team, David, they've got a lot to figure out.
Yeah, but you know what, Jesse? The coaches are going to be in a great mood. The bus rides, the plane rides, those will all be real fun. Practice this week, it's going to be a blast.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese.
Week 7 was a home matchup against UTSA, which started our conference play. The team just didn't show up in this one, however, and we lost 27-0 in front of the home crowd.
And it's almost like playing against yourself, right? You know you're better. You know you're going to win the football game, but how do I continue to still execute? This was so easy, great execution, just beat down in every facet.
I think as a player, you just love being in such great rhythm, and we saw that right from the get-go in this game. Offense just able to matriculate the ball.
Week 8 was a road game at West Point against the Army Black Knights, and the offense exploded for a 37-6 win.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Things just didn't work, and that seemed to be the case here.
Yeah, they didn't get the W. They didn't do enough. But now you start to think about what could I have done differently? What do I need to become more offensively? Defensively, what can I morph into to make those extra plays, Jesse? That might be the difference in the next game that I play.
Yeah, David, they just need a little bit more. They need a little bit better effort next week. They're going to need better preparation this week in practice. There's no doubt this team has a lot of talent.
Week 9 was a tough home game against Tulsa, and the Golden Hurricanes got the best of us, beating us 36-23.
Take a knee. It has been said that the obstacle is the way, and this obstacle is now back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back L's. It's not the end of the world, though. I still think there's time for this team to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to finish the season strong. It's not over yet. 2 bad weeks. Flush it down the toilet. Refocus the mechanism.
Week 10 was a road game against the Charlotte 49ers. The game was shaping up to be an offensive shootout, but the 49ers ended up coming out on top 48-34. And following the game, 3-star offensive tackle Hugh Lincoln committed to FAU.
Thing to execute early in the game. Tight ball game, right at the end. You need the clutch plays. These guys deliver.
You can't teach that gene. You have people that can focus in the moment or they can't. Great job by the team. Staying focused, understanding it's a close battle. Win those one play at a time, and then look up, and then, heck, I got the win.
Yeah, David, they just had ice in their veins, and you can tell there's tremendous leadership on this football team. Guys can step up.
Week 11 was a home game against the Temple Owls. The boys stepped up big in this one, and we ended up on top 27-21 and snapped our 2-game losing streak.
They've had a great day today.
Guys, this is a really good win for this ball club as they put together consecutive victories.
And this season,
Week 12 was a road game against the USF Bulls in Tampa. The offense exploded for a 45-14 win for redemption from last season. This win guaranteed us bowl eligibility. Quarterback Philip Rush earned American Offensive Player of the Week honors with his 387-yard and 4-touchdown performance. And following the game, 3-star cornerback Danny Johnson and 3-star wide receiver Najee Unrein committed to FAU.
Well, some might think this head coach has a tough locker room speech after this one. I would suggest that he starts with, "That's just bad."
bad. Or, as Reese Davis would say, ungood. Just very ungood performance. Flush this one down the toilet. Move on. It's not your best day. You lost in ugly fashion, to be honest, but better days ahead.
I think a lot of this has to come on the shoulders of the players. They need to be able to realize.
Week 13 was our senior night and blackout game against East Carolina. The game started out great, but we couldn't close it out, and we ended up losing 48-19.
It's been said that the obstacle is the way, and this obstacle is now back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back L's. It's not the end of the world, though. I still think there's time for this team to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to finish the season strong. It's not over yet. 2 bad weeks.
Week 14 was our regular season finale on the road against North Texas. The offense struggled, and we lost 27-24. But following the game, 3-star defensive tackle Nicholas Labinjo, 3-star wide receiver Curtis Bean, and 3-star defensive end Stephen Jordan all committed to FAU. Following the season finale against North Texas, Zach Kittley announced that offensive coordinator Charlie Fry was relieved of his duties, effective immediately. The Owls finished the regular season with a 6-6 record and 3-5 record in the American Conference, which put us in 8th in the conference. During the Week 15 bye week, 3-star defensive tackle Rico Thomas, 3-star tight end Mike Zyman, and 2-star center Tavares Levis all committed to FAU. Sophomore defensive end Gavench Marcelin was announced as the winner of the best defensive player, the best defensive end, and the winner of the Lombardi Award. FAU received an invitation to play in the 2025 Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando against Virginia. We signed a good majority of our targets from the beginning of the season, although we did miss out on a few guys like guard John Gomez, who chose UCF, middle linebacker Fitu Beach, who chose the University of Miami, and cornerback Alexander Bynum, who chose Wake Forest. But overall, I'm very happy with the recruiting class. We filled plenty of holes in the roster, and a lot of these guys are probably going to contribute early. The Owls extended an offer to Derek Ring, an offensive coordinator with ties to South Florida. Prior to the bowl game, it was announced that sophomore running back Xavier Terrell was named a second-team All-American, and freshman linebacker Jarvis Johnson was named a freshman All-American.
I'm going to tell you, I just never saw this team falling into a 3-game losing streak. They are wounded, reeling, and they've had their confidence shaken.
It's been ugly. There's no other way to spin it. This is very ungood, not good. Got to find some way to get this turned around. Got to make more plays. This is something that's frustrating, but let's not let it define your dynasty, right? Fix it, get it back together, try to pull some wins, try to figure this thing out.
It's frustrating too, David, because this is a team that has a lot of talent. I think part of the problem these last couple of games now has been...
We played in the 2025 Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando against Virginia, and we were leading late, but couldn't solidify the win, and we ended up losing 35-34. Following the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Zach Kittley announced the hiring of offensive coordinator Derek Ring. Philip Rush was our leading passer, but he was less than stellar with 19 interceptions, and he was sacked 67 times. We'll definitely have to figure out the quarterback situation going into next season. Xavier Terrell was fantastic this season, but with some better offensive line work, he could be a star next year. Dominique Henry was our leading receiver as a sophomore, and he'll be exciting to watch next season. The offensive line was abysmal this year. There's going to be a lot of work to figure out what we can do to improve for next season. The defense was a bright spot for us this year. True freshman, the middle linebacker Robert Lee, and sophomore defensive end Gavench Marcelin could be All-Americans next year. Morgan Suarez was a great kicker for FAU. He did struggle at times, but he got the job done. He will be missed next season. Logan Lupo improved as a punter this season, but like Morgan Suarez, he will be missed next year. The kick and punt returning were nothing special this season, but maybe we'll get a star next year. Unfortunately, we failed to convince running back Xavier Terrell to stay at FAU, and he announced his decision to enter the transfer portal. Offensive tackle Mauricio Hines has also decided to transfer. And the rest of the guys that are listed here all graduated, and we'll be missing them next season. After finishing 6-7 this year in his first season at FAU, Zach Kittley's coach prestige has intrigued several players to enter the transfer portal and join the Owls. I'm only targeting the defensive side of the ball, though, so we have a lot to work on. In the first week of the offseason, we got commitments from junior outside linebacker London Hall and junior strong safety Kai Stokes from the transfer portal. In week 2 of the offseason, we got commitments from 3-star kicker Jorge Angelo and 3-star offensive tackle Cole Lamar, as well as freshman defensive end Camden Hardy from the transfer portal. In week 3 of the offseason, we got commitments from sophomore middle linebacker James Hurd and sophomore cornerback Kevis Thomas from the transfer portal. FAU's 2025 recruiting class ranked 51st in the country and 2nd in the American Conference behind Tulane. We signed 21 3-star players and 2 2-star players, as well as 5 transfers coming from the portal. There's a lot of intrigue in the FAU Owls, and the 2026 season can't come soon enough. Let me know who you're most excited to see play next year, and also how many wins you think the Owls will have next season. We'll see you in 2026.